Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Benchmark. They're speaking the facts that you wanna hear. That rapper jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I ain't taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You playing the seats, now it's time to grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my butter blow.
I ain't seen from now. Bowser really, I'm just trying to tell you.
Next my podcast. What's up, bro?
Welcome back. It's another episode of the Bench Mob ENT podcast, the pod that has something for everybody, and no topic is off limits. If you support Black business, if you support small business, rate us 5 stars, review us, share with family and friends. We just trying to make this a full-time gig. You feel me? I'm joined by the whole crew tonight. I'm going to start with my right, Greg, Mr. Hot Takes. Giants get their first win since Meyer. How you doing tonight?
I'm not as good as Daniel Jones, but I'm good. Only so few of us get to be as good as Daniel Jones is, but we'll talk about it soon. But yeah, I'm straight. I'm good, man. I'm feeling real good, and I'm happy to be here tonight. Yeah, we got a new little setup tonight too.
Little something new.
You know,
Try a little something different for y'all. You know, make y'all see a little something different right here. Then of course we got next to me, to my left, Miles, smooth operator. If you can do it in New York, you can do it anywhere. Davenport, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I was good up until the Yankees blew that wild card game, but on the positive side, Zach Wilson looks good, so I'll take it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about a little bit about that later. Exactly what we're gonna put the blame on with that one. I was upset too. I didn't expect that, but of course we got, CJ, money bags. I told you so. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. We got some football on. I don't know what that references to, but
your Bengals doing well.
Oh yeah, facts. We gonna get into that too. My Bengals definitely doing well. And for the record, today when you posted on the gram, the poll, right? Pretenders or not. I chose the wrong one because I didn't. Bro, I looked at it too quick.
He wasn't even sure.
It, bro.
He was like, "We pretenders, yo."
For real though.
Oh man, but do we believe the hype? We gonna start. We got 2 teams we talking about when we talk about the hype right now. Cowboys, Cardinals. We're gonna start off with the Cowboys. They just came off their win, 36-28. We had a Zeke sighting. Zeke came out. He was eating 20 carries, 143 yards, 1 touchdown. You got Trayvon Diggs with 5 interceptions in 4 games. Do we believe the hype that's going on in Dallas?
I think so. I think we should definitely believe the hype. What I tell y'all before about Zeke, though, what I was preaching.
I told you so.
Well, give him some
Weeks
time.
leading up,
I
Mr.
told
I
you
told
so.
you so.
right?
Zeke, all I'm saying is Tony Pollard looked good too. He looked good too, and like we talked about, their combination at the running back position can be very lethal because you take Tony Pollard out, or you take Zeke out. You got Tony Pollard, hitting the edges. You put Zeke in, he's hitting, the gaps in between tackles and whatnot. So their offense is clicking on all cylinders, and so is their defense. So Micah Parsons has been playing out of his mind at the DN position, ever since that man went down. So he's just, a utility guy, someone that you can put, in any position on defense, and he's going to ball out regardless. Like you said, he's a football player. So I believe the hype for the Cowboys for sure. I think I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl because I don't think they are, but I think they're going to be a very good team in this league this year and upset some teams down the line for the rest of their season.
I think it's a nice start, but I've seen this story before. They'll win 10 games, 11 games.
If anyone knows, it's you.
They'll win 10, 11 games. They'll get to the playoffs.
But that's a good season, 10, 11 games?
No.
But not for the Cowboys.
Not for the
though.
Cowboys.
Not for the Cowboys.
That's like the same thing like when you talk about the Yankees. Good season. That making it to that wild card game is a good season for a lot of teams. Like the Mets, that would have been a good season. But for teams like
It's true.
Hold on.
It's true.
It's not even about the Mets slander. What we're not going to do is act like winning has become the expectation for the Cowboys. Let's not do that. The last 20 years, that has not been what the Cowboys are. The Cowboys had a golden age where they were phenomenal, and that's why they are widely known as America's team, right? Like they had a golden age. That's before our time. In our time, in our adult lives, in our childhoods, they've never been good. So that's just the truth. Like they've had some bright moments, but they've never gotten over the hump. They always get in their own way. That's what they're known for, right? So the expectation is for them to win. I think this year they have a good team. I think they have a chance to make some noise. But the reality is their defense still ain't good enough. Trayvon Diggs has 5 interceptions. It's been great, but he's also like overly aggressive as a corner. Like if you double move him, he's susceptible to that. You can beat him with that. Like there's holes there. Dak is playing the best football of his life. He is. There's the offensive line looks great. Zeke looks good as he's looked in the last 4 years, right? I think so.
Over on Sunday, he had his longest run since his rookie season,
and he wasn't getting away from nobody. I'll tell you. You know, it takes that train a long time to get off the station, in my opinion, a little too long. But the reality is, like, they're a very good football team. Are they great? Are they Super Bowl contenders? No. In the NFC, where you have the Packers, you got with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Let me tell you something. If they run into Aaron Rodgers, he's getting them up out of there. He's getting them out of there. I don't care.
We're gonna see on Sunday.
What do you mean, Aaron Rodgers?
The Bengals play Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah, you got it. But Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers is getting them out of there. Like Kyler Murray is getting them out of there. Like they are not going to match up with a lot of these great teams with great quarterbacks because their defense will inevitably let them down. Because while they're faster, they're still a bend don't break defense. They're not like some.
They're going to give up a lot of yards.
Yeah, also here's the thing too. The Cowboys have fallen in love with the pass more than the run. If you have a defense that's not that good or is okay, middle of the pack and average, you want to take the air off the ball by running it and take time off the clock so you can hold your leads. They don't do that. They're in love with Dak throwing the ball. That's primarily what they do now. They did a good job against the Eagles last week of running the ball, but that was a beat down epic proportions. They weren't even getting tested. They weren't getting tested. The Cowboys were not getting tested in that game. They just weren't. There was no chance of a comeback. Jalen Hurts and those guys showed no signs of life because the offensive line was just that bad. Huh?
Carolina.
The week before. I'm talking about the Eagles game. I'm referring to the right game. Wrong week. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah. So and if you talk about the Panthers, all right, let's talk about the Panthers. They hung 28 on them without CMC.
But that was garbage point. That was garbage points at the end because that game was well over in the fourth quarter. They were up by 20. Like midway through, and then of course you let off the gas pedal a little bit, and that's what happened. But they were never in danger of losing that game.
I just don't think they stopped the run that well, and I don't think they're like a great defensive team. I think they can be had. I think they can be had I think they can be had on that side of the ball, and that's where their problems lie.
That's what you just alluded to. That's what I'm saying. All this is going to be great. It looks good. Person that's really going to benefit from this, Jerry Jones. Ticket sales going up.
Yeah.
The exposure going up.
It's cute.
Because they got the exposure and they don't win. Now they winning, forget it. Like
I have the words to describe this Cowboys team. All flash, no substance.
And it's good for people like us in this business. When the Cowboys are good, ratings go up. They've already shown it. The Cowboys lost one game. Ratings right now in the NFL is up by like 9-10 points.
Yeah, but when we say believe the hype, what are we really talking about? Like, are we talking about are they a Super Bowl winning team? Is that what we're basing it off?
Can they threaten us? Can they make a Super Bowl run? Is that team?
Yeah, but there's only a few teams that can do that.
Are they one of those few?
No, not this year. No,
they can make the playoffs. They will make the playoffs. Let's see.
Yeah, I think we just need to
classify. I can't even be sure.
I can't be sure either.
I'm so serious. You can't. The Cowboys do not deserve that level of trust. They are not the Yankees. They are not a perennial winner.
No, they're not. But
they're not.
This defense. I mean, this division they're in is shoddy. So I think they could easily sweep.
They're part of the shoddiness.
Not this year.
Not entirely.
Not this year. They haven't shown that yet this year. In the past, for sure. but yet no.
So hold on. Most of the fanfare started when they played against the Buccaneers and hung some points on them.
Put up
Every
some
team's
points.
gonna do that. Every team in the league's gonna do that against the Bucs. Am
But
I wrong?
If not for leaving too much time on the clock, they win that game. So you could say that.
Well, hold on then. My thing is, the Giants damn near beat the Bucs last year, but there was no energy, and the Giants would have won. The Giants would have won the game if not for a miscue on the goal line. They lost 22 like 25. It was skinning your teeth close. But I don't see all that energy. Look, I know it's a different scenario. I know the Giants have lost games at that point. I'm just saying, you nearly beating Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in a shootout does not mean that you're a Super Bowl contender. Do they look better? Yes. But I want to see them play against Aaron Rodgers. I want to see them play against Matthew Stafford. Because guess what? Dak's always played well. He got in the NFL. He's been good. But he doesn't beat like the elite quarterback on the other side. That's always been a knock on him. His record against elite quarterbacks is not great. I ain't come with the exact numbers today, but it's not great. Look it up for yourselves. It's not great. It's a fact too. So let's see him do that before we start coordinating the Cowboys as a Super Bowl contending team or talk about contenders and all. No.
Hold on. I think we all agree. I think we all agree that they're not Super Bowl contenders this year.
Do we?
Were you in agreement to that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
But their division, they're going to win that division running away. So
Are they? Are we sure?
Who's beating?
Who's
them in
beating
the
We
them?
division?
all gotta play.
I'm not worried about this week.
Everyone in the
I'm not worried
division-
about future
Yeah, okay.
weeks.
Hey, Miles, I'm used to being right on this thing. We'll see how this goes about this weekend. But we all play the same teams. We all play the AFC West. Are they beating the Broncos with Teddy Bridgewater?
Yes.
Oh, they are. It's a lot. With that defense, it's a lot. The
With that
team's not a
defense.
joke. And they run the ball really well. So, okay, fine. Let's see. I think that game's iffy. Are they beating the Chiefs? Don't even answer that question. We already know what it is. Are they beating the Raiders? I think they can beat the Raiders. I think the Raiders can be had. But that right there, those are some games that are questionable. And we're not even talking about all the hard games they play.
They might be able to go on a little, honestly, looking at the schedule.
Damn, that last 5 game.
Yeah. So looking at the schedule, they got New York coming up, the Giants, obviously. Which
That's a talk. It's a divisional game.
No.
I think the Giants are trash. It's a divisional game.
which
You're right.
could
I'll let you
possibly
get that
be a win, right? Then they have New England at New England. I think that'll be safe to be a win.
Is it? Is it though? Against that defense, it is. With Bill Belichick, the defense we just saw him throw out there on last Sunday night, it's a guarantee they win in Foxborough.
But that's like that game was different though.
That
That was totally different.
It was. So let me get this straight.
No, because
let's use logic. Let's just use logic. So Bill can give Tom Brady a hard time, make Tom Brady look average, but he can't give Dak a hard time when Tom has every receiver known to man.
hold up, but I don't know because let me use a different reference. You've played Ruben plenty of times over the years, so you know the type of moves that he has to do on the court, right?
I'm not stopping him. I don't mean I'm stopping him. You know what I mean?
You can make it hard for them though,
Yeah,
and that's what
because
they,
you know
that's
what
what
he's
they
doing.
did. That's what they did. They made it hard for him. But this Miles has alluded to, and we'll transition to talking about the Cardinals. This isn't really a lock per se for them to get into, the playoffs. Them last couple of games is pretty tough. They got at New Orleans, week 13. Let's go from week 11. At Kansas City, home against the Raiders, at New Orleans, at Washington, at New York, back against Washington at home against Arizona, and they finish off the year at Philadelphia.
Come on, that's a slate.
Tough way to end off.
This division is going to come down. The winner of this division, the NFC East, is probably going to finish with 10 wins tops.
I see it happening again. It's going to be week 17, week 18. That's when we're going to find out who won that division.
I don't think it's going to run away with it. I don't.
Real quick, though, you mentioned the Packers. What's your thoughts on this whole Jalen Smith releasing, and then he ends up getting with the Packers? They don't get nothing for him.
I mean,
nothing's came out of why he was released or anything like that.
I just feel like he's a little washed up at this point. Like, ever since that injury, sideline to sideline has always been a problem. So, I mean, there's better options on this Cowboys team. Why waste time keeping him there? So, I mean, of course, someone's going to take a chance because it's Jalen Smith and, the pedigree and all that. But I don't see it, depending on how the Packers use him, I don't see it really amounting to too much.
Gives them depth.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Cardinals. Go ahead.
I was just going to say his name could have got you something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could have got something.
You could have got something for him.
I don't know. You've seen the linebackers playing coverage. It hasn't been good.
No.
Like they've been, all the linebackers have been bad. Jalen Smith got the axe, but none of them have been good in coverage. And they had Michael Parsons out there playing in coverage, and he didn't look good either. Like, to my main point, that defense is iffy at best. And Trevon Diggs has a lot of interceptions, and you're going to get a lot of fanfare. He's playing a very aggressive style. You can get burnt like that. Like, you do get burnt like that on double moves. So I'm not a believer in them in that way. I'm sorry, but
Cardinals 37, Rams 20. The Cardinals stay undefeated. Only team left undefeated in the league right now. Kyler Murray did his thing, 268, 2 TDs. We had AJ Green sighting, 5 catches, 67 yards, a touchdown. They had some running game going. They running back Chase, Edmonds had 12, 120. Connor showed up with 50 yards and 2 TDs. Do we believe the hype of the Cardinals?
I believe that more than the Cowboys. They're serious. Like I do think they're serious. My concerns remain the same about them. But
I know you're concerned. That's why I mentioned it. Your concerns is the running game.
Yeah.
Between they two running backs right there, it's 170 yards rushing.
There's two concerns with them. It's the running game and also the fact that because Kyler Murray moves around so well, he covers a lot of the holes in the offensive line. Like they look a lot better than they actually are. I mean, a lot of times he's not running because he wants to. He's running out of necessity. He's making guys miss. That's what it is. He's taking on open rushers and making them miss. That's part of his magic. So, yeah, your offensive line looks a lot better than it is when you have a quarterback that can cover your warts like he does. But that being said, they're serious. First of all, you have a better quarterback than the Cowboys do. No, not a hot take. That's just a fact. And overall, like as a team, that wide receiving core, the way they're coached, I think their coaching could be what does them in, is my concern, because I think that run and gun offense with the running game, the running game was a nice sign last week. I'll give them that. Defense have a great pass rush. Like there's things they do really well. The corners are very aggressive, but they play well. Like they're a better defense than the Cowboys are. They offensively, I don't think anyone's better than them offensively. Honestly, like they're that good. They're very, and they've got an elite quarterback, top three quarterback in football, like for real, that good. So I think they're real. Let's not talk about I'm not even going to talk about my concerns for them. We've all heard that. The question is, are they contenders? Yes.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't even think anybody can disagree with that. They've been playing well. Thing is, that comes up to mind with me too. Like the division they're in, how long can they keep this up? Do they end up, winning their division? Because Rams, dang near everybody picking them to go win the Super Bowl. Seahawks, who are always going to be a tough opponent for them. Do they win their division though? They off to a hot start. They blazing right now, but do they continue this on for the whole 18 weeks of the season?
It's going to come out of health. Because if one old lineman twists an ankle, if Kyler Murray twists an ankle, knock on any which we find, because I love watching him play. Without the mobility, he stays in the pocket and changes his entire game. That offensive line is not going to hold up against pressure. It's him that makes the magic happen. He's the magic. He's what makes the Cardinals offensively. So if anything were to happen, that would be it. But they're good enough if they're healthy to they can win the whole. They could win the whole. They could get there. Without the running game's an issue, and the playoffs it hurts you. But
I think they could get there.
They could win it.
Yeah, but it's not just Kyler that got to stay healthy. Like you said, like if a lineman goes down, like if Hopkins goes down, you're looking at AJ Green as your deep threat. I mean, AJ Green's coming close in age. He's playing really well this year, though. I will say that. I think he has 3 touchdowns on the year already. He's playing good and he looks good, but they got to stay healthy. And Chase Edmonds, he played well, 12 carries and would you say 100 and something yards?
120 yards.
And Jaden Connor looked good too. But again, it's a consistency aspect. You got to do it week in and week out, and we haven't seen that from the run game yet.
Transition to Kappa Facts. Daniel Jones is a top 5 quarterback.
Hell no.
So far. So far this season.
I'll let everybody else talk from this one. You go ahead. I want to hear what y'all got to say. You talking about hell no.
Well, Miles, floor is yours.
You talking about hell no.
That was funny.
They can't let you finish, right? He's ready. Okay. Go ahead, Miles. If you got so much to say.
I mean, 1-3. I'm not ready to put him up there yet. Because I've seen a lot of good performances where the QB gets the job done and they win. He lost to Atlanta. Who else did he lose to?
Are you gonna put all those losses on him? That's what we're doing.
Well, he didn't fully perform in those games.
He's the furthest thing from the problem. If you watch the Giants play, seriously, anyone with half an eye can see that he's not the problem with the Giants.
Well, if he can't outscore the Falcons, scoring 17 points.
You know as well as I do that in football, coaching matters more than any other sport. You are so reliant on your coaches. You really. Garrett was not calling great game plans. They weren't utilized. Look, a big reason why he had such a good game last week is because John Ross stretched the field. They finally had a deep guy who could throw the ball consistently to that could make a play. And that's what happened. That they stretched the field. They had a bunch of high-low reads for him. Like they actually played 20-21 offense. And that's what happens. You have a quarterback that's actually talented and can play. He didn't take advantage of that. He tore them apart. So I'm not putting him on the hook for those L's. And out of anyone here, I'm the one who's most upset about those losses. If it was his fault, I'd be more than happy to admit it. It was not. It was never about Daniel Jones. It was never about Andrew Thomas.
You're true. This
It's
is
a
true.
coaching thing.
It's true. He's still not top 5 right now, though.
Okay, then give me your top 5 quarterbacks that are better than him right now. That have played better than him to this. I want to hear it, please.
The overall the whole season.
So far, up to this point.
Who's
Up to this
played better
point.
than Daniel Jones?
So you want me to go off of your PFF or
Go off of whatever. Go off of Miles FF. I don't care. Go off of whatever. Just give me your top 5.
all right? Let me see. We got Tom Brady. We got Kyler Murray. We got or Calamari, as you know, Aqib Talib would say. Stafford. He's played better. Dak. I'm taking Dak over him too.
That's 5 right there. You just named.
And then
You
I
say
know there's
five?
somebody.
That's four,
I mean,
that's
Josh
four.
Allen. He's lighting it up now. He had a bad game against Pittsburgh, but I know you hate him, but he's better than Daniel Jones.
Is he?
He is.
I think my prophecy is going to come to light here as the season comes to a close. Because Daniel Jones is thrown for more yards than him, has a higher passer rating than him, has certainly run the ball better than him this year. Look, the wins haven't been there, but again, like I said, not everybody can have Brian Dable be your offensive coordinator, and that has done wonders for Josh Allen. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts, Chris, on this?
I think Daniel Jones is a great quarterback.
Well, wait. Is Joe Burrow better than Daniel Jones this year?
Nah, see, it'd be irresponsible to say Joe Burrow after he threw 3 straight picks.
All right. Just
A
stirring the
few
pot
weeks
a little
ago.
bit.
Yeah.
Just stirring the pot a little bit.
Do I think Joe Burrow will be a better quarterback? Yes, I do. I think Joe Burrow will be a better quarterback. But
Let's not mess about Joe Burrow.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
let's
let's keep it on.
Let's keep this about is Daniel Jones a top 5 quarterback? Right. Let's do the first 3-5. What? Has it been 5 weeks?
No, absolutely
first 5
not.
weeks of the
Absolutely
season?
not. We know he's not. I agree with Miles' quarterbacks that he just said.
Who
Yeah,
was the last person? You said Josh Allen was the last person?
Josh Allen. Josh
Do
Allen.
you say Mahomes in that list at all?
Well, Mahomes goes without saying, but if I want
I
to
don't
keep
think-
adding to the list,
You
then
could arguably
yeah.
say Russell Wilson too.
Okay. I don't think Daniel Jones is a top 5 quarterback.
Top 10.
Top
Top
10.
10.
Sure, yeah, top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Easily.
Yeah, top 10. Top 10.
Easily. He's been top 10. Easily.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
It's good. That's a
it's
good thing for y'all.
Great. It's exactly what
That's what you want in year 3.
It's what I said he could be.
That's
It's
what you
I
want
said
in
he
year
could-
3.
It's what I said he could be. This is coming to light. Like I'm telling you, like it's really more of a matter of hey, like you got to make sure you put him in the right positions. You got to make sure the coaching staff is allowing him to be successful. Let him take more shots down the field. That's what you're seeing. And
Remember what
more
you
design
said though.
runs.
Remember what you said in the beginning of the year though.
About what?
How many touchdowns you want him to have?
Was it 20? I think
26 plus.
I think he'll get that.
Okay.
And in large part thanks to the guy you didn't want, John Ross, who
Listen,
looks-
John Ross
No.
had one good game,
No.
and this is his,
It's not about
his
that,
good.
though.
He had 3 catches for y'all.
It's not. It's
I'm
not
praying
about
he
that.
makes it healthy through the next
That's
game.
okay. If that's a real concern. We're
That's
talking about that. Fine.
And that's
The
what I
player-
said.
The player himself, what he runs runs good routes.
I mean, that was never a question.
No one ever
I don't
discredited
know,
his
bro.
routes.
I don't know.
I said
bro.
he could not stay on
You
the
made him sound
field.
like a pile of trailer trash.
No, I said he drops the ball, which you'll see. He drops the ball.
He ain't dropped none. He ain't dropped none.
He had 3 catches. Relax, bro.
But here's the
Relax.
thing.
3 catches.
I told you when he's on the field, his value is huge. And
You did.
You downplayed it.
You
though.
did. You
You
said he
downplayed
stretches. I did. Yeah.
He stretched the field. A lot of guys were open because of him. A lot.
That's fair.
The
Because he's
touchdowns
fast. That's fair.
The touchdown to him opened up the entire offense. Kenny Galladay's not open on that last big catch. Saquon's running a touchdown in the overtime without John Ross stretching the field the way he did. He created so many opportunities for really good big throws and all that stuff in that game. His value is huge. But make no mistake about it, Daniel Jones is the reason why they won that game. He just beat a top 5 defense. So I'm just letting you know, he about to go play the Cowboys on Sunday, whose defense is the furthest thing from top 5.
Hold on.
Good luck.
You want to make another Bubba Coos bet?
No, I ain't making no bubble. Don't bets. The Giants gonna make that game interesting. I don't even know the pickup in that game. Look, it's a divisional game. I don't bet divisional games. I told you that. I'm staying consistent, but they could win.
Urban Meyer will be fired before the end of the season. Cap effects.
Cap. I just feel like, I mean, we'll see.
If you think he makes it through the season?
What's the rest of their schedule looking like?
They're not going to win much, but if that's the saving grace for him by winning, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but
I feel like the NFL, like, yeah, they fire coaches, but they fire coaches that have been notorious for losing seasons, right? Never really a coach in his first year has a bad season. Like, they'll fire him at the end of the season. Like, I don't think they'll fire him beginning of the season. So I'm gonna say Cat.
We'll see. We'll see. I can see him quitting, honestly.
I mean,
taking that USC job.
I can see him quitting, going to college where he thinks he can do whatever he wants.
For the sake of Trevor Lawrence,
he could do whatever he wants.
Well, I mean, Ohio State, his antics weren't going over the best either.
They it slid. Yeah, they let it rock out.
It slid, but
they saved face at the end. They let it rock out. They knew what was going on.
Yeah, I don't think they'll fire. I mean, I told you I think he'd get fired because of all the noise. They kind of reeled back a little bit. The owner made a crazy statement. The owner made a very convictive statement about where he stood on what Urban Meyer was doing lately. So I thought he was going to get the hammer, and no one likes him. And no one likes him. That also doesn't help you. Your players think you're a joke. I read a whole thread from Mike Player about it on Twitter about how the players are laughing at him behind closed doors and all this stuff. So when you lose the respect of your locker room in the NFL, there's no place for you. It's hard for you to coach and do your job. Right? You're supposed to be a leader in men as a coach. It's hard. This ain't college. He doesn't have these guys' futures in the palm of his hands.
Yeah, but for Trevor Lawrence's sake, I feel like they can't just abort ship midway through his rookie season when it's already a struggle for rookie quarterbacks to begin with. So having some continuity with your team, you need that.
Well, if Trevor Lawrence is half the genius they say he is, he should be fine.
Oh my God!
If Trevor Lawrence is half the genius they say he is, he should be just fine. And honestly, like the reality there is, Urban Meyer is on strike 2. We're not talking about strike 1. We're talking about strike 2. Didn't he try to hire a racist strength coach and try to get away with it and fired him a day after because of the noise? Like, this ain't a guy who's just made his first mistake. He's been making mistakes. I know that white guys get a longer leash in every walk of life. But at what point?
Maybe you view this as strike 3 and he just get 9 lives because he did try. He hired Bestie at a position he never played.
Tebow, yeah.
Oh yeah,
there should be strike 3.
That is just right.
Like, you feel me?
Right.
Like this should be strike 3. Like he hired Bestie, and Bestie ain't never had that job before.
That's facts. And he thought he was at an accounting firm or something. He could kind of have someone fake it on the Excel sheet.
Exactly. Like, oh yeah. Don't worry about your resume. Exactly. Hey Bob, you're good.
You're good. Yeah, it ain't that, bro. It ain't that. No, he might get the hammer by the end of the year. We'll see.
We got, for the last cap of facts, Yankees wild card loss chalks this season up as a failure. Cap of facts.
I mean, it was already a failure up until this point. I mean, they scraped into the playoffs. For a second there, I thought we had a shot at the division, but I mean, the Rays are just miles ahead of us right now. And I mean, anytime the Yankees go out early in the playoffs, it's a failure because, I mean, 27 championships is kind of expected that you make a run, which we haven't made one in 12 years. I mean, the closest we got was when the Astros knocked us out in 2017. So I don't know. They got a lot of things to do in the offseason. I think it starts with getting a real shortstop and adding some real hitters. Like, they can't keep going like Bronx Bombers because that's kind of played out. That's like some outdated mindset for the Yankees. So I think they need more contact hitters who can put the ball in play, hit for average, more so than getting someone like Joey Gallo who hits 150 but also hits 40 home runs. So there's a lot of things they got to change, but it didn't look good. They got blown out in that wild card game. So, and to lose to the Red Sox, it's always a failure.
At this point, are we done with Boone?
Hell yeah. I've been done with Boone. The most overrated manager in the league. Like, I feel like I'd rather have Rojas from the Mets.
Yeah, all right.
No, I'm messing, but
You
Boone, he's made some of the dumbest calls this season, alone this season. Like, using a guy who literally all he does is give up home runs, but keep using him in clutch situations.
I was going to say, but what about the pitching then? If you're not talking about pitching, you're talking about the all-nothing approach from the plate. We all knew that was stupid.
The pitching wasn't the problem. The pitching wasn't the problem. Like, you can pick moments like Garrett Cole. You'd expect him to pitch better in that moment, but I don't think he was fully healthy at all this last month. So I'm not giving him an out, but Boone, if you see your guy struggling, why put him out there in the biggest game of the season? Like, you only ran him out there for 2 innings, and then, you felt confident enough to pull him, like the guy who's borderline Cy Young this year. So another Boone mistake. I mean, I would have rather had Nestor start that wild card game, but I don't know. I'm tired of Boone. I don't know who they even go to. So I think he's so in tune with the Steinbrenner family that they might honestly bring him back for another season.
He just looks like a Yankee. He looks like a Yankee manager. He just looks like he, doesn't he? Put a picture of Aaron Boone up. He looked like it, doesn't he? He just looks like the perfect Yankee, But the all or nothing approach is stupid, and I agree with that. And also, if you're going to ask me if this season was a failure or not, I mean, I'm not just saying because I'm a Mets fan and I hate the Yankees, and I do hate the Yankees. I hate them. I have no problem admitting that. But of course. I mean, this isn't the standard that I always hear about is 27 championships, 27 championships. So yeah, when you don't win one, it's a failure. It's a failure. But I will say this: I respect the fact that the Yankees are always competent. Because not every franchise is competent. So at least they're confident, right? At least every year they got a chance. They give themselves a chance. They do what they think they need to do to give themselves a chance to win a championship. Does it always work out? Obviously, as we can see, no. But that being said, you got the Rays in your division. Guess what they do? They pitch really well. They hit for contact. They hit for power. They're amazing. So I think it's about time to copy that blueprint, go in that direction, and see if you can give this thing a real chance.
I don't know, because I feel like I had to add another thing that I forgot, but I feel like Boone is like the biggest puppet in MLB. Like, he literally follows analytics to a T, even though it's
that's not his call though. That's the Yankees' call. That's the Yankees' decision.
Yeah, they put their own pawn to coach their team.
Yeah. That's what you said.
So
He's the biggest puppet.
So you gotta.
I blame the Yankees, but also Boone, grow a pair. You love yelling at the umpire when you see fit,
Boone not about to go against the Yankees' wishes, man. Man, come on.
Well, yeah, I guess not, because you saw what happened when a manager does. Like Joe Girardi, he wasn't the problem, but of course he gets canned because he has his own thoughts. He manages his own way. So
you don't threaten the bread. You're not doing that. You're gonna follow the orders to a T, and that's why I think firing him is actually stupid, because he's taking orders from the top. How is he the problem? Y'all just mad. Y'all want to blame somebody. Someone's got to fall for this. It's a Cashman and an organizational issue. You guys have to change the way you guys approach the game. This all nothing home runs and chicks dig the long ball approach. It ain't working. So you got to switch it up. That's an organizational problem, in my opinion. That's not a Boone problem per se. I think you give him more run with Boone and you bring in players that can hit. The hit for average? It's easier said than done. I'll tell you that right now. But the Yankees are confident. I'm sure they'll figure it out. we'll see. That's the nice thing I always say about him.
So back to we transition before we talk about this NBA talk and the GM polls and whatnot. Who is y'all players of the week? We're gonna start with you, Chris. We all know, even though y'all not in our group chat, y'all know who his player of the week is. So we're gonna start with
and
Chris.
Y'all know who your player of the week is, all you, who it should be. If it's anyone else, then please correct yourself.
CJ.
This man. But players of the week I got two, and they're both quarterbacks, AFC and the NFC. Joe Burrow, 25 for 32, 2 touchdowns, only sacked 1 time, led his team to come back down. What was it, 14.5 or going at halftime? Yeah, 14 at halftime.
What team was that again?
Stop it, bro. It was the Jaguars. We struggled. We definitely struggled. In a game that we shouldn't have struggled. We should have blew them out. But at the end of the day, he played well. The line held up. Joe Burrow's number 1. I got Daniel Jones, and that's not ranking him either. I'm just saying. Daniel Jones.
He said number 1. You just ranked him.
Nah, I'm saying like number 1 out of my mouth right now. Like the second player I'm going to say is Daniel Jones. He played well. You're right. And
you're underselling.
Yeah, because I know you're gonna oversell it. So
no, it's not overselling it.
He'll let you put the
That's
top
5. That's a top 5 defense. Why am I overselling?
It was it's a top five defense, but we're not gonna go ahead and classify him as a top 5 quarterback right now. But he did his thing. He did his thing for real. And you've been saying it, leading up to this that he hasn't been the problem, and he definitely showed that he's not the problem.
Miles, play of the week.
I'm taking Tyreek Hill. I think that you huffing and puffing over there. We already know who you gonna say. We don't need to hear it again.
It's so creative, bro.
Creative?
That was like a Lamar Jackson scramble. Like you just really over here dodging tackles, trying to avoid
dodging tackles.
Like, come on, man. First of all, are you supposed to get 2 players a week? Is that what we're doing?
He chose 2.
He said, "Who are your players of the week?"
That's what he said.
That's what came out of my mouth.
All right, so if we're doing 2, then AFC, I'm taking Tyreek Hill. 11 catches, $190, and 3 touchdowns. That's not many people can do that week in and week out, and he's done it twice already this year. So I'm giving it to him. And then NFC, I'll give it to Daniel Jones. So he played well. That's it. He played well. Y'all won the game.
He played well. That's y'all coming.
What more you want me to say? Hold up, my fault. All right.
That was the best game of the guy's career.
You're right. That was the best game.
That was the best game of the guy's career, and they won because of him. They won that game because of him.
You're right.
Like it's that simple. And he made it.
Okay. You're right.
Yo, he made a lot of big throws in that game. He made a lot of big throws in that game. Like that was that was the game that showed the fan base that he's the franchise guy. That was the game. That was the moment. He had a moment. He had a chance to lead him down the field, to get the field goal, to tie the game, to go in overtime. Check that box. Then he goes in overtime, leads them the full length of the field after they win the coin toss, and they win the game. And it's because of him. That was the franchise guy game. That was Daniel Jones' moment. Like that's the game we don't forget. That's it.
True.
The turnover in the game was off a Hail Mary that doesn't count. He hasn't thrown an actual pick in games in literally 9 games now. In 9 games, dating back to last year. The turnover problem's gone. The guy's talented. He can really play. He can make all the throws. He's the best deep ball thrower in football. I'm done. I'm done with that best deep ball thrower. And I haven't let to stand on there. And by the numbers he has been, and off the eye test he has been. The only guy I think is close is Wilson with the moon ball next throw. For real. Like he's in that conversation with certain things here. Like, and as far as a running quarterback, he's what? A top 2, top 3 running QB in the league? There's not many guys more effective than him. I'm thinking about Lamar Jackson on top of my head and Kyler Murray. And then him. We're talking about a guy who can do it all. Big, strong, fast. Like, come on now. Like, he's it.
All right, let me see him follow it up. Oh,
he will.
That's what I'm looking for, too, though.
Oh, okay. And
I'm not talking about just the Cowboys. I'm talking about for the season.
The performances are piling up, though, and what you're going to do is you're going to hold them accountable for the wins and loss record. You can't listen. If you watch the Giants, you're not doing that. You're not holding Daniel Jones accountable for losing to Atlanta. because Daniel Jones ran over a 350-pound defensive tackle in that game. He played a great game. What ends up happening in that game is Jason Garrett and Joe Judge played with scared money, and we lost. It's the coaching. It's the coaching that loses the Giants games, not Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has been a pleasant surprise. I've enjoyed every second of watching him this year. And for real, outside of the fumble he had in that Broncos game, it's been all smooth sailing from there. He's it. He is the guy. We found Eli Manning's successor. I can tell you, Giants fans, we found a successor. He's it. It's over. It's a done conversation. I'm serious. And against the Cowboys, just watch. He'll have another really good game. They won't lose because of him. They won't. If they lose, it won't be because of him. But I think they can win that game. I feel a little optimistic. I'm not gonna hold
then put your money where your mouth is.
And Saquon's back. And Saquon's back.
12 piece.
I can't bet division goodness, bro. I could bet on a good Daniel Jones performance.
Ooh, take that.
But he don't want that. You want to take that bet? The way he's playing? Go ahead, please. Be my guest. I will enjoy that free 12 piece. Because the Giants could. I think the Giants could win that game.
Doing player props over here.
It would be foolish. It'd be foolish to take a convictive bet in that game. Why would you bet that the Cowboys are convinced they're going to win that game? Why? What?
Well, it's in Dallas.
What? The Giants have gone there and destroyed. Last year, the Giants played one of their best games in Dallas. They lost, but they lost by 3 points. It was like 34-37.
Was Dak out there for that game?
Yes, that's the game he broke his leg. And again, the Giants lost the game, but first of all, Dak got nothing to do with their defense. I'm telling you, the Giants are going to score
points. The defense has gotten better since then. So we'll see.
We'll see. We're going to test all that because they don't know this is not turn the ball over. And I'm sorry, there's a guy named Kadarius Toney who's serious. Can we talk about Kadarius Toney? He's serious.
Yes, but that was also with Slayton and Shepard out. So with a grain of salt, we'll see.
What do you mean?
He got a lot more playing time because there was nobody else to throw to.
No. The playing time is not. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. I can promise you that.
All right, we'll see.
And I'll tell you. And I'll say this: Darius Slayton can take a seat. I need John Ross in the field to stretch the field to give me high low reads for Daniel Jones. I need that vertical threat for a guy who throws the best deep ball in football. I'm sorry, and I need a guy who's going to catch it. Unlike Slayton, who didn't catch that ball. And I like Slayton; he's good, but I got KG. I got Gadde's the real deal. You saw Gadde did. You know his body is. He's serious. And then you got Kadarius Toney, who literally makes everyone miss. It's like a video game, like for real. The guy gets tackled, everyone bounces off him. Yeah, I'm telling you this into a Giants podcast, but I'm keeping it in the butt with all y'all. Like the Giants are not as bad as they look. They might be the best 1-3 team you ever seen, for real.
All right, then put your Bubba Coos where your mouth is.
He's gonna give you a Bubba Coos, yo.
Put
on a divisional game.
Bubba Coos on Trayvon Diggs getting the pick on Daniel Jones.
That's a prop bet. Why don't you take my prop bet then? That's BS. Take mine.
That's not even a prop bet though. Him saying he's gonna play well.
We'll take my bet. He's gonna play well since Daniel Jones since I'm misguided in my whole Daniel Jones theory.
What's playing well?
So what's the bet?
Daniel Jones throws for 300, 2 TDs, whether on the ground or through the air.
2 TDs picks. Is a standard though. That should be the standard.
He's gonna get more than that. But they run the ball, Saquon on the goal line a lot too. So I'm not going over 2 because it's not indicative of how good his game was if he doesn't throw for more than 2. Like he threw for 2 TDs last week, but it was an amazing game. And they won because of him. But Saquon is also Saquon Barkley. Superman. What you gonna do?
5 weeks into the NFL season, and we got basketball back. Preseason has started, and every year before the season starts, the GMs do a poll. They vote on a bunch of different categories. We're going to run off a couple of them. Tell me your thoughts. Y'all agree? We could spin it any way which y'all want. First one, player most likely to break out this season. Number 1, they had Jaren Jackson at 17%. They had Ant-Man at 13%, MPJ at 10%, Darius Garland from the Cavs at 7%, Keldon Johnson, John Morant, and Kevin Porter all got 7% also. What's y'all takes on this breakout list?
I want to hear Miles' take on it. Miles, the only player, he's here. He's the guy who roots for a team who has the most promising player I've ever seen in RJ Barrett, according to everybody else. So I want to hear your take.
According to everybody else.
Because he not on the list.
He didn't get a vote.
Not even on the second.
But hold up.
But Darius Garland did. Just saying.
Okay, but did Darius Garland get Derrick Rose, Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier added onto this team? This team's a lot deeper than it was before.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so I get it. So the GMs think that RJ Barrett isn't going to break out because he has so much explosive weaponry around him that it's just going to be impossible. That's what this is about, right? It's about his surroundings because the Giants, the Knicks are a power or a juggernaut. Okay, that's what it is. Ma, that's what you're going with, bro? That's what you came with here today? For real? Ma, you had all week. That's what you came with?
I had all week to what?
Oh, think about you had 48 hours to think about this. I think he posted this.
This wasn't even a thought in my mind.
Why?
Because who cares about these GMs lists?
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
I'm pretty sure everybody picked us not to make the playoffs last year, and what happened?
Oh,
4th seed.
There we go.
Hey, speaking of though, we gonna have our own, so we're gonna have y'all vote, and we can create these and have some better responses. Hopefully, some better stats on some of these questions and other questions. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Bench Mob family for rocking with us.
Let's talk about who's not on the list. Okay, RJ's not on the list. Fine.
Who cares? They don't put him on a lot of lists. We're not worried about lists right now.
Why? Why does that keep happening?
That's the question. I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't know? He has no weaknesses. Like there's no reason why he.
It's not that.
There's no reason why the rest of the world would not think as highly about this guy as Knicks fans do. There's no reason. There's no good reason.
So a guy averaging 17, 5, and 3 at 20.
I love that.
At 20 years old, has no promise.
I love that.
He's on the decline. That's what you're saying. No, that's what it sounds
like.
That's
not what I'm saying. I've never said that. What I said is he's
not that talented. That's what it sounds like.
That's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying he has never justified his selection in that draft class, in my opinion. He is not that good.
So 2 years in, we're already giving up on kids.
I'm not giving up on him.
Yo, Bronny, don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Mikey Williams, don't do it.
First of all,
because he's critical.
I'm not giving up on him. I'm saying he's gonna be a very good NBA pro. That's all I ever said about him. But when you're a top 3 pick, what is the expectation? What do you expect from a top 3 pick? Antonio, what do you expect? When you're a top 3 pick, what are you expecting? What is it? What comes to mind when you hear top 3 pick? Chris, you can answer this question too. What do you think?
Greatness.
Franchise-changing player.
Okay. And has RJ looked like a franchise-changing player?
Situational for him.
I hate that. You know why I hate it?
How do you hate it?
Because in year 1, when he came in, the cupboard was bare, and y'all didn't have that.
The cupboard was bare?
Who was here?
Who was coaching us?
No, don't talk about
Mr. Potato Head. David Fizdale.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because he had opportunities. I watched that season when he came in, okay? And they tried to be like, all right, RJ, we're gonna throw the ball, initiate offense. I saw it. I was watching. See, I watched Knicks basketball. I want to singe my eyeballs out. I was watching, and because I was like, yo, this guy went number 3 overall, and I want to see what this is about because I know what I think about him. I didn't like RJ coming up through high school, through college. This is not a Knicks thing. This is about an RJ thing. I watched him in high school.
It's got to be an RJ thing.
It's not. Why?
Because, he reclassified, so he was a lot younger than everybody else in his class. 1. So
that's the excuse, bro?
That's not the excuse. Okay. It's a fact, though.
Okay.
How many times has it happened?
Okay.
Putting out the facts.
Okay, it's fair. Fine. Miles, you want to continue?
No. You want to keep cutting me off? Go.
Go ahead, Miles.
Go. See? You want to keep cutting me off? Go. Get your point out so I can go.
All I'm saying is, since he was in high school and since he was in college, there were 2 things I didn't like about him. His feel for the game was not the greatest. He didn't feel for the game, for anybody who's listening, what I mean by that is knowing when to pass and when to shoot. Like knowing when. Like having that innate ability to feel it in the game. Like, okay, I got to make this pocket pass right now. Okay, it's a good time for me to get to my step back. Like, that's never been a strength of his. And then creating off the dribble one-on-one. Like getting out of a jam. Like you catch the ball, shot clock running down. Like, I need a shot. Like, you're 3rd overall pick. Get me this bucket real quick. That is not his strength. He's a pattern player. He's a guy who sets. He's a 3rd overall pick. So what standard do I have for him? What should I hold him to then? Because
I think this goes back to this though. We had a conversation.
I know exactly what you're getting at.
This was at Chris's house. I remember it.
It's not his fault that
He
the
was
third
drafted third.
overall.
It's
pick.
not his fault, but that's the standard. You were in that situation. It's not Andrew Wiggins' fault he was drafted number 1 overall. He still took all that bread.
No.
And he
That's on
underperformed.
him. That's on him.
Because what? Because he didn't work hard?
That's on him.
Because he didn't work hard to get to reach that level?
Because he was out here trying to get religious exemption.
You see, all right. He's talking about recent. Yo, by the time he did that, we already knew he was not it.
Yeah.
We already knew we knew Wiggins was not changing anybody's mind this year. I'm sorry, okay? Whether he played or not, we already knew what it was.
But that's the thing. On a serious note, though, look, I think you still got to give RJ at least another year, 2 years.
But my thing is, like, if he comes out and average 25 and 5, we still gonna have haters regardless that find these little holes in his game that are gonna come out and bash him.
There's a best case scenario where RJ Barrett becomes a multiple-time All-Star, even without the things I'm saying he doesn't have. These things I'm talking about.
There's not many guys who work harder than him, though. That's the thing.
Okay, fine. Since you're his agent, I guess you would know.
I'm his agent. Look at the stats from year 1 to year 2.
There was a jump.
Clearly, there was a jump.
Okay, so what I'm saying is there's still a best case scenario. He can still be a very good player in the NBA because if you get to a point where you're a 40% 3-point shooter on a higher volume of shots, okay, y'all don't have the percentages. He wasn't taking that many threes a game. Let's keep it a stat.
6 threes a game.
That's a nice little chunk, but if he gets to become a sharpshooter, and sharpshooters take about 10 in the modern NBA, you take about 9-10 3-pointers a game.
But do you actually really want your guy taking that many a game?
Yes. And if he gets to a point where he can knock down 40% of his threes on about 9 to 10 shots a game, I will. Hey, he's going to be a damn good player for a long time. I think he has that. What I'm saying is,
but that's a plus to his game. The biggest strength of his game is going to the cup. He's stronger than most guards that are going to guard him. So,
sidebar. Speaking of the modern NBA, I just think this is wild. We mentioned preseason. First game, Warriors preseason. How many 3-point attempts y'all think they got up in a preseason game?
Like 50.
69 3-point attempts.
Like this is it. And that's why when people
69.
But to that point, when you talk that 6 is a lot of attempts for a guy, and you're raving about his 3-point potential going up, that's good shot selection.
But that's literally the offense that they run. They're built on.
They're not built on taking a lot of threes. What you're saying, and that's why he wasn't taking threes. Because I would agree. I don't think Tibbs.
Yeah, Tibbs not.
They don't take a lot of threes as a team.
He's not big on.
I don't hold that against him. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, and I know he's improved. What I'm saying is the kind of player. Look, KPJ, perfect example of what I'm talking about. That looks like a top 3 pick. Tell me otherwise, Miles. Look at KPJ.
No, he looks good.
Okay, so KPJ. You see what he's about. You saw the highlights from the last preseason game. You see RJ Barrett. Who's better right now?
KPJ.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Out of the top 3 pick, that's him. Because he can do it off a set shot. He can do it off the bounce. He's got good feel for the game. He doesn't want to pass. He's still selfish. He's a selfish. He's young. He's learning.
I can't wait to see how that play out.
Yeah, he's young and learning.
With Jalen Green.
But it's not because he isn't the feel for the game to make the passes.
Oh, no, of course.
You are just a stupid kid who's learning how to play. It's a difference. You grow out of that because you want to win. Eventually, you want to win games. Eventually, it's not about scoring 30 points a game. It's about actually winning basketball games. So he'll grow out of that. But that's the difference between – that's it right there. Like, you watch KPJ film. Anybody who actually cares about basketball enough, go turn on KPJ. Go watch – and KPJ is Kevin Porter Jr. For all my novices out there. So go watch him, and then go watch RJ Barrett after, and then tell me who the better player is. Like, honestly, like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's levels to this. Like, it's levels.
But he also hasn't played on good teams, though.
Who?
KPJ. Like, he's literally thrown out there and say, "Let's play street ball. Do your best." Like, he's not on a team that's winning right now.
Okay, let's keep it a buck. Miles, you know basketball. Let's keep it a buck. If RJ was on the Rockets, is he looking like that? Is he doing that really?
He's doing a lot more than he's doing right now.
Oh, that's the question I asked.
Because who has the ball most of the time?
Thank you very much, Bill Clinton. I appreciate that. The question was, is he looking like that? Is he getting to it like that? Like, is he going to create in that way? The way you see KPJ creating. Can I put RJ Barrett as my point guard on any team in the NBA right now and be successful, have a successful offense? Can I do that?
So the Rockets have a successful offense.
Oh yeah, they're gonna score points. Come on, with him and Jalen Green and the big they drafted. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I ain't gonna even try. They're gonna have a good offense. What you mean? With KPJ, he hung 50 on the Bucks. Come on, bro. Like, you're not answering the question. But
he laughed at Drew too.
Huh?
He laughed at Drew too in the locker room.
Who left the Drew?
KPJ in the locker room. Drew Holiday? What?
Frying him though. But fried him though. Gave him. I'm saying though, it's special. He's special. Is RJ Barrett that kind of player? Like, in your heart Knicks fans, like, think about it. Like, you should put something dramatic music behind this. Like, you know what they do? Like, when they show you like the
he's not and all that. He's not that type of player, but does he have to be? Does he have to be that type of player?
Top 3? What is it?
Top 3.
So Knicks fans, so is it okay?
He was already raw coming out.
This is okay. This is
what,
okay.
Hold on, what is okay? What is okay?
I think he just said the good point, which I think everybody got to remember. He was raw coming out. When you got a player that you're drafting raw coming out, you have to know there's a window of progression that needs to happen. It's not going to be right off the bat. He was raw coming out. We knew it was room for improvement coming out.
All right. Well,
if we got a transition, but if we look at that draft class, we'll look at it at one point.
That's a whole conversation. That's a whole conversation. I'm saying that's irresponsible. Then why are you taking a project at number 3?
It's the Knicks' fault.
Why are you doing that? When Tyler Hero was there, when KPJ was there, and Tyler Hero was better than RJ. Yes, he is. And Knicks fans throw that bad year in my face. Don't do that. He's better than RJ Barrett.
Oh
yes, he is.
God.
Well, he looked like in game 1 of the
here every week and deal with this shit.
Yes, he is.
Oh my God, yo.
And for some reason, Tyler Hero what is that? He's like a curse word to these Knicks fans.
What to do with Kyrie? He is not vaccinated still and has already missed, I think at this point, 2 practices because he can't practice in New York with no vaccination.
Time to cut bait.
Shut up.
This is tough though. I don't know what to do in these type of situations because at the end of the day, as much as people want to say he's not going to be a distraction, he's a distraction. Obviously, last year with the off the court personal issues, we're not going to get into that, but like that's something that you want to move past, right? Especially after the year that you had last year with him, the birthday party, and then him needing mental health, which is fine. Again, we got to take mental health serious. No one's knocking him for that, but again, you want to show some level of progression to this year, trying to steer away from that. But now, if you're going to refuse to get vaccinated, which there's a whole different conversation and it's very, very sensitive because you don't want us to go ahead and say the wrong thing.
Yeah,
but
he's a politician, bro.
Yeah, I'm over here.
He wants that.
Ain't about to say you steal me.
No, what you talking about? You're not vaxxed. What do you mean?
Listen, yeah, facts. But at the same time, like for Kyrie, I don't know, he need to part ways with the team. Because again, you're gonna hold the Nets back, and if they don't win the championship, that's what they're looking at. They're coming right for his neck. You didn't get vaccinated. You couldn't be available for the team to help us out. Yada yada yada.
Half of the season.
But he's gonna look good on them road trips, though.
He's gonna be refreshed.
I didn't want to hear from Miles on this, bro. Miles not capable of having a serious conversation about this because Knicks fans are still bitter that Kyrie and these guys didn't go there and all that. So they want.
I'm not bitter. Imagine
now,
if he was doing this with the Knicks, though.
What?
The coverage
it would be
crazy.
10 times worse than it is.
It really
right
would.
now.
It really.
You
would.
can't even say it wouldn't be.
Look.
Like this is like bottom of the back page news right now.
This is national news. Okay, the Nets are bigger than New York. All the Knicks fans talking about New York, the papers, and all. I don't give a damn about no local news.
Hold on.
News.
But you want to hear something? If y'all was still in New Jersey, this wouldn't be a problem.
I will be the first one to tell you I was staying in New Jersey.
See, if y'all was still in Jersey, this wouldn't be a problem.
They should have stayed in Jersey. I totally agree. But you know what? Let's not change the subject. This is about Kyrie's crazy ass. Let's talk about Kyrie.
Yeah.
Because Kyrie is trying to be is on some. I see all like the shrinks out there and people, the media trying to play Dr. Phil with this guy and get in the head of what he's doing. I'm not interested in doing any of that. I'm really not. Yes, he's a distraction. Yes. But you know what? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I'm gathering my thoughts in real time right now. I hear a lot of people talking about the Nets and cut bait. I hear a lot of people talking about the trade Kyrie rumors. You can't trade him. because he's not getting vaccinated, doesn't want to play. He's proven to be very unreliable. He took 2 weeks off last year just to drop a hat last year. Okay, it's not the first time he's burned the Nets in this way. So you can't trade him. No value. And you're not going to cut him because KD still wants to play with him. Okay? And the most important thing in all this is that KD wants this. It's KD's will. What KD wants, that goes. When you're as good as KD is that's the way it works. He's taking the blueprint straight from Bron. Okay? What Bron wants, it goes. So as long as KD's happy, Nets fans, like, this sucks. And it ain't too many Nets fans out here. Let's just be honest. Not too many real ones. But, like, for the real Nets fans out there, this sucks, but you got KD, you got Harden, you're going to be straight. You're still going to win 50-plus games with just those two guys.
So as a franchise, you're just going to allow him to have his way and be a distraction of the team?
No. Well, if he doesn't get vaccinated, I think the most realistic thing that happens is that he does not play at all. That's what I think happens. Now, I'm serious. He doesn't play at all. But you know what? I'm still of the mindset he's going to get vaxxed. I still think he's going to get vaccinated. I'm concerned.
He's got 2 weeks.
You just get the first shot.
With New York, you just need one of the shots.
Mm-hmm.
Get the first shot. And I really believe he's going to get the first shot within these next 2 weeks, and he'll be out there and be playing. Because the way I see it is, Kyrie can say whatever he want. He can do whatever he want. You know what? Money talks. You are not giving up 40 M's this year to make a point for your beliefs. Okay, Kyrie, please. All right. So like, I don't buy any of it. He will be available, but this is a bigger story than that. Because even if he does play this year, even when he does eventually play, Kyrie's unreliable, and it's definitely scary. Like, the man can retire and go raise alpacas for the rest of his life one day. Like my man on Dragonfly Jones be saying on Twitter, like, he could just retire and go raise alpacas one day, and it would make sense. That's him. He's very unpredictable. So it's scary, but they need him on the court. They're not beating the Lakers without Kyrie. It's just not happening.
That's what I was gonna say. If he does not get vaccinated, if he's missing, you're talking about 40 games, 41 games, possibly more, because when y'all go to Cali, he can't play in Cali either.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about possibly 43, 44 games. Hey, Bron, plan the parade now, bro. Hey, Melo, get the ring size now, bro. Because if Kyrie not coming, the Nets do not have enough with the roster currently constructed to mess with the Lakers roster. All, health being obviously a factor in that. And the thing is, you stated all facts, but I really, at some point, keep it a stack. At some point, KD, you can't convince me is going to just be rocking with this all year, bro. At some point, it's going to get like, bro, we losing games or we not building chemistry at some point. And I think the other thing that we need to talk about too, Harden rock more with KD than, their relationship is the tighter one. Mm-hmm. At what point does Harden be like, bro, I ain't come here for this, bro? And again, like, at what point does KD be like, yo, I mean, I know Draymond, got on my nerves and whatnot, but I knew Steph was going to be there every night. I could rely on Steph being there.
The facts. I agree.
I came to Brooklyn with you. You my boy. Let's get this championship over in Brooklyn. This where your area where you from. You my boy. We got close to the Olympics. You here for 40 games only, bro?
40 games go quick too.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's gonna get to that point. Is what I'm saying. Now, if it does,
I hope it doesn't, because I'm saying at some point, just the human side of it. I don't care how much we boys. At some point, if you want some nonsense consistently, and you messing with the goal of winning the championship, you messing with our pockets, anything like that, especially as men, all right, bro, I gotta cut you off, bro. I can't do this no more.
And then you got to answer questions about, hey, you guys lost this game tonight. You didn't have Kyrie. How big of that was? How annoying that's gonna get. That's gonna get annoying.
If it comes to that.
Even if y'all win, it's gonna be a game where there's so many elite point guards. Somebody's gonna drop 45, 50 on y'all head top when they be like, well, if Kyrie was there, you think he would have been able to, help have him be tired so he wouldn't have dropped 50. It's coming up regardless. It don't matter, even if y'all win. It's coming up. Oh,
it's a distraction.
Y'all could have won by
Big
50 if Kyrie was here. It's coming up regardless.
It's a distraction. The reality is they're not talented enough to deal with distraction, but what they're not talented enough to overcome is a series where they got to see Bron and Russ, who's changed his shooting form. We didn't even touch on that. We don't touch on that one easy because he's gonna shoot a way better percentage of 3-pointers than people think he's gonna shoot.
Who?
Shout out to Phil Handy. Shout out to Phil Handy.
He changed it. Like,
Shout out to Phil Handy.
It's a much smoother shot. They're gonna be dangerous. The Lakers are gonna be dangerous, and as long as AD stays healthy. But we'll talk about AD too. but it's a distraction. It's there's no way around it. He needs to get vaccinated ASAP. And
you saw what my boy Andrew did. He said, "Oh, my money? Oh, nah, we good. 300,000 about to lose. Let's go."
You would think Andrew riding on house money, man. He's under
48 hours later. Oh, Andrew vaxxed.
That's literally it. The bread. But I'm saying though, with the bread, when you challenge the bread, you're gonna have a situation like that. Like you're gonna have a guy jump to get that shot. I just don't think Kyrie's that stupid.
Speaking of challenging the bread, hey, Ben might be back in that locker room. Them fines, they put 8.25 mil in escrow.
Yeah.
And what the NBA is trying to do now, they're trying to have it like the NFL, where if you get fined, you ain't getting that bread back.
Yeah.
So how they got it set up?
They pull from the escrow.
8.25, just down. I don't care who you is. 8.25 is 8.25. I'm showing right back up. Hey yo, now I got a sore hammy though. I'm here though. I got a sore hammy. I'm in the locker room. Bro, that's bread to be given up. Like that's one thing we all give love and credit to Rich Paul, but I think they dropped the ball on that one.
8.25 is a lot to us, but is it a lot to Ben Simmons, who has bread?
He's already. His rumors that this joker, he's second guessing it now. Like, bro, I just lost off the first day $350,000 or something like that off the first day. I think, like I said, Rich Paul is great. I think they dropped the ball on this one. You do what Harden did. You do what all of them do. You can show up to camp. You either act the fool at camp. You pull a Kobe or something like, yo, these jokers soft as Charmin, and they get you out there quicker. Or you show up, my back, my neck, my back. You faking injuries at this point.
Or you show up out of shape like Harden.
You feel me? Like to get to secure your bread still. Yeah, you still want to get traded.
Of course.
You know, especially in B coming out saying what he said.
You know what it is.
This is never going to work.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It's never going to work. Like, it's done. It's already over.
He's not mentally strong enough to face those fans. That's what it is.
Thank you for saying.
He is not mentally strong enough to face those fans.
That's what I was going to say. The reality is the guy's not mentally strong enough to actually come back because he does not want to face these fans who are saying F Ben Simmons at a wrestling match, bro. You have nothing to do with wrestling. These dudes is watching. Think about it. Philly fans are so angry. They were sitting next to dudes who like NASCAR and think about you.
Yo, not only that. Did you see the video of the person in Florida? He caught an alligator in his trash can.
Yeah,
he originally from Philly. He was like, I just out here trying to make my shots. I'm like, Ben.
Yeah. Something crazy. But he can't come back. Philly's unforgiving enough as it is. When you do some things, when you pull a stunt like this, you got to see it all the way through now, man. Your bread, you're straight. I'm sure you got some stuff saved up. You're using the big.
You sell a few of them cars that he got.
Yeah, right. Sell some cars, like right.
At the end of the day, too, like with it, like the thing that's with that Philly, how loyal they are. They was rocking them even after you passed on Trae Young. Still was rocking them.
Which is stupid.
You feel me? Like if none of this stuff happened, he ain't say all this stuff. I want to get traded, and maybe the behind closed doors he gets traded. It still be love. Mm-hmm. Every time Ben now, whatever jersey he end up, every time he goes to Philly,
it's gonna be bad.
It's going to be the Philly fans too. It's going to be a zoo. Transitioning the flag on the play. Marshawn Lynch will be the NFLPA's first ever chief brand ambassador. Accept or decline?
I think that's cool. I mean, I think the NFL, I feel like everything they do is pretentious. You bring it. You know why they bring a Marshawn on to be the brand ambassador. You know why?
Yeah,
he
Lynch
speaks to a certain audience they can't speak to.
Lynch will help. Yeah, he will help support past present and future athletes, basically to make that bag off the field, which Marshawn
He knows how to do. He knows how to do.
He was very smart too, not spending his money.
Everything's a PR stunt though. Yes, he's gonna be good at his job. I think that's so boring. Yeah, he's gonna do a great job. Okay, cool. That's not why he has the job. Okay, like that's not why they could have found anybody. There are a lot of guys who did a good job of capitalizing on their market, on the brand they had off the field. It's because he speaks to a certain demographic they want to speak to. That's what that's about.
Speaking of demographics and doing stuff for the camera, for headlines, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar will headline the 2022 Super Bowl halftime. Accept or decline.
It's gonna be fire.
That's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be
fire.
That's gonna be fire. I know what you're getting at. But when you intro the conversation, I know you want to get heavy on this. I get it. But before we do, yes, it's gonna be a great halftime.
Hey, do we? Because last I checked, Jay-Z was still employed, and everybody when he first got employed by the NFL, in the first year he did he had his hands in the halftime show. It wasn't what we wanted and thought from Jay-Z.
What was the first one again? Was it like Justin Timberlake or something?
Nah, it was
What was it? The Spanish show?
Yeah, it was Shakira.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah. It was all that.
No, don't. You wild.
Then it was Bruno Mars, right?
He's wild. Yeah, Bruno was there. I think Bruno Mars is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So people gonna give Jay-Z some credit in this because he still has. Last I checked, he still has a job and is employed by the NFL.
I don't really care about anything Jay-Z does, and this is great. Yes, credit, cool. But the cap situation still rubbed me the wrong way with him. The whole publicity stunt he took part in. So I don't cool, but this isn't what you were here.
This don't make up for what you previously did.
But it's also not. This is not what you're here for. Like this ain't what we was talking about. Like this ain't what we do. This ain't what we thought. These aren't the visions we had. When you took the job. So yeah, it's gonna be a great halftime show. And shout out to Mary J. Blige getting to that bread and no free promo, but F it. Power bomb dropping. She's fire on power, and she about to get to this cash on the stage too. I love Mary J. Blige, so yeah, I'm with it. Like it's gonna be a great show, bro. It's gonna be a great show.
Last one for Flag on the Play. Squid Game creator Hwang Dong-hyuk wrote the show in 2009, but was rejected by studios for 10 years. Now is number 1 in 90 countries and is expected to be the most watched Netflix show ever.
Powerful lesson there.
Have you watched the show?
Not yet.
Love it.
It's
Not yet. Don't
You
spoil
watch
it.
it, Miles?
No, I'm gonna watch it
Miles,
this
watch
weekend.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yo, when what's his name got killed?
Yo, the show. I think the show speaks to a lot of people
You thought it was
because
funny or something?
well, first of all,
we could talk about it on the next show
Yes.
once you watch it. It's layered.
But yes,
It's layered.
it speaks to people because it's layered and it's something that it speaks to the way that society works.
Yeah.
It really is. Like there's so many things you can
Without-
pull from it.
Without giving it away, bro, but
Man, you should have watched the damn show.
yo,
By now.
that
No,
jump,
relax. It just
that
came
jump
out.
hit,
this
that
week.
jump,
Nah, I ain't come out this.
It came out
That
like
jump-
It just blew up this week.
that
Relax.
jump
was
hit my
watching
heart.
Huh?
Well, she was watching.
Why? How does this always come into a
Handmaid's
like,
Tale.
relax, bro. Relax.
He said Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. Yeah, stupid.
Yo, when old boy realized that he had pebbles in his hand and his
Right.
face,
That was
boy,
crazy.
that jump hit my heart.
Mm.
That hit
Because
my
the
heart.
character, he is portrayed so well, and but everything is a tie back to real life lessons, and also tie back to the way society works. Like this dystopia they set up, it's brilliant. You watch the show and it hits you right away. It doesn't take very long for you to see what's going on, and if you to think, it makes you critically think like, yo, this could easily happen. Like this could be something that would happen in real life. Like it's crazy.
I think it's probably already happened, but you feel me? That's
That's a whole different government.
Hold up.
Conspiracy theory tone.
It's a whole different. Bro, some of these stuff that is to be wild out like that they be turning into shows and it's a hit show.
It didn't pop out of nowhere. It didn't come out of
Exactly.
nowhere. You know what?
Exactly, bro.
You
Either
didn't
it
think
was
of
somebody,
this.
it was an idea. Like, watch, I'm telling you, give it 10, 15 years. We gonna see them come up with a law like, yo, we're gonna have to purge actually now.
You know what it's about, Chris? You know what it's about?
Nah, it's like the games that they play and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
but
an adult playing games.
Yes, but all it is people on the brink of financial like destruction. They have nothing. Brink of poverty. Get offered to play a game
To make like mad money.
To make a ton of money.
Yeah.
But the stakes are deadly. They'll kill you if you lose the game.
So like Hunger Game vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they give you an option to either keep playing or go home. And these people they go home and their situations are so bad, they decide that it's worth it to risk their lives playing children's game to make it out here in society. That's what the show's about.
Yeah, that sounds fire.
This is a real. This would happen. There are people out here who are really struggling right now with the way things
that
work.
would do this. Yes.
Yeah, man. It's obviously I don't know if it's a capitalistic society in Korea or not. I don't know. But there are so many things you can draw. There's so many comparisons you can draw to the way things work here and the way things would potentially work if that did happen. Like it would be very similar. This show is so layered, bro.
Yo, shout out to the director of this though too, because at the end of the day, like you never know when your shot's gonna come. You never know. You just keep grinding.
You know, I mean, that man got the plug somewhere. He might be even go with some legal activity to come up with a show like this. Where do you come up with an idea like this? This show's a tweet.
I'm saying, bro, it's something to look out for.
You gotta watch it, yo. You and your girl just watch that. I'm telling you, man. Your girl watching it? She might have watched it without you.
She ain't watching it, bro.
Y'all know the vibes, bro. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. Bench mob, we out. Peace.